Welcome back to ARMEDFORAGER. Today we're going to look at this Charles Daly Model 101 break action 12 gauge shotgun. So this thing's pretty cool. It's a survivalist kind of dream gun, in my opinion. If it's in 12 gauge, there are a lot of really cool things you can do with this. So right off the bat, 12 gauge is a very versatile round. And, it comes in slugs, it comes in double aught, it comes in birdshot, steel. You got all kinds of different shells that fit in there. But also, there's a really cool thing that you can do with a 12 gauge shotgun. And I'll show you here in just a sec. Just gonna plop this on, make sure my mic's still picking everything up. All right, cool. Yeah, but check this out. So if you want to, you can get something like this. This can be very helpful. So this has not only shells in it, but I went with the shooter's box chamber reducers. So I got 9 of them. And that essentially converts your 12 gauge into whatever reduced round it is. So I've got 38 special, like 357 Magnum. You can use both of them in there. 45 ACP, 9 mil, 22 LR, 22 Magnum, a whole bunch of different ones. The one that's really cool is this 4570. So essentially it turns your break action 12 gauge shotgun into a 4570 single shot. Now the reducers aren't very long. They are rifled except for this 4570 because they're only about 3.5 inches, 4 inches long. But I got a target down range and it's about 50-ish yards from me. And all I got on here is a red dot. So I don't have a magnifier or nothing like that, but we're gonna try to hit that target from here with as many different types of rounds as possible. I believe this one is the 20-inch barrel. So let's get into the specs of the gun before I jump the gun and go too far with other things. This thing is pretty amazing. You can stuff this in a backpack. I did add a couple of things to this. Like I said, I got just kind of a cheapy red dot on there. And then I put like a Velcro, stock bag on this side. It's got some more shells in there. And on this side, went and picked this little card up so I can put, more rounds in here if I want to. The only 2 things that I added to this, but I thought it would be essential if this was the only gun I had. Like if it's this and then a sidearm if I'm going into the wilderness. Those are the 2 things I would want because then, I could pack out with this, essentially have all the different rounds and chamber reducers in here, and then have a better, line of sight, better target acquisition with this red dot. Really nice how it just folds in half though. That was kind of an essential thing for me. I did have a Hatfield at one point, kind of a turkey gun in a sense, but it was only 99 bucks at Walmart years and years ago when Walmart still sold guns, but it was really cheaply made. It didn't fold into itself like this one does. I had to like modify the hand guard, and it was just kind of a horrible experience with that Hatfield. It did fold like this, which I thought was cool, and it was very cheap. It didn't have a rail. This one has the pick rail. It's got a fiber optic sight, and you can also put a choke on here if you would like to. It's got kind of a break on the end right now. This one also has a safety, and it does have the red line on that, so it does have a good indicator. I believe this rail is polymer. I would have liked to see some kind of an amalgam of metal, like, like an aluminum or a steel alloy or something instead, but that's okay. I guess that makes it weather resistant. And it's not cheap necessarily. I mean, it doesn't feel cheap. It's just polymer. You could attach a bipod if you wanted to, or a sling, and it breaks right here, right in front of the trigger guard. It's got this, you just pull it, breaks very smoothly. This is a Turkish gun, so made in Turkey. And it does actually have some pretty nice diamond stippling on here. I actually appreciate that. Okay, cool. Let's set the camera up and we'll just, use these reducers. We'll start off with the lowest caliber and just keep going up till we get to 4570, and then we'll throw some shotgun shells at this target. And I got a whole bag of different loose rounds, so this should be fun. Yeah, so there's the target way down there. Now I'm just gonna name off the reducers and the ammo as we go. I also recommend with any reducers like this that you have some kind of pusher that you can push through and get the round out of there, because it may get stuck. Okay, first things first, 22 LR, and this is a rifled bore. Again, these are from the shooter's box. It just goes right in there, just like that. We'll use about 5 standard velocity from CCI. Came right out. I don't actually know where we hit. I'm gonna go down there and check it out. It's a little high, and I think that's just due to the red dot. I didn't sight it in very well, at least for 50 yards. Let's give it another shot with this 22. It's actually really high and to the right. What you can do if the round's giving you trouble, it's not coming out, you just use a spent round and it comes right out after that. I'm gonna try a few more and see if it still hits high and to the right, or if using the reducer creates kind of a diameter where it could possibly hit. Hopefully this next one shoots high and to the right, and then I can just adjust the red dot. I don't actually know where that hit. I didn't see a dust cloud or nothing. That one was high. It's rifled, so it should have some spin to it and be decently accurate. Okay, that one was just a tiny bit high and to the left. Let's see if we can recreate that. I did not see a dust cloud, so it might have been behind the target, hopefully. I didn't see a dust cloud. It's a good indicator that probably am hitting the target. Okay, I have to say, not super accurate from 50 yards. So 22 LR, probably a bust. Let's do something a little different. I'm gonna try to just bypass this red dot and just use the sights, the rail, and the fiber optic. Okay, that one was way closer. Maybe it's the optic. That's what I'm hoping. 380 ACP from the mix bag. Really, really left. Yeah, I was hoping for a better result than that. 9 mil, let's try that. It's a rifled bore as well. All right, let's give it a fair shake. Okay. Left and low, left and low. Okay. Right and high. 9 mil, also not so great. Let's try 10 millimeter. Let's do that. All right, so we'll be using this ammo brand ammo. It's traveling at 1,190 feet per second, and this is just ball ammo. Let's give it a shot. Okay, that was really high and to the left. Really kind of disappointing. This was the whole point of this gun. Be able to change the chambers and have the ability to shoot different types of ammunition through one gun. Okay, that one was just a little left. Could have been me. Give it the benefit of the doubt here. Okay, left and high. Not me. Let's do something that's just going to irk everybody. 40 Smith & Wesson through the 10 mil. Nope, that ain't going to work. So if you were wondering about that, that one's not going to work this time. Not with this one. Let's see if we can get a favorable result. This is the 45 ACP rifled bore. Gotta get something that's going to work here eventually. Where's the fatties? Oh, here we go. Big chubby 45 ACP auto. Okay. Ooh, that one was low and left, really hard left. It wasn't the optic. Well, that one was a little bit better, closer to the target. It was still left, but not hard left. Well, that one was pretty close. It was still left. Yeah, that one was super low. And then it ricocheted up, so that's not super safe. All right, what else we got? 357 Magnum. This one also is a rifled bore. Okay, PMC 357 Mag. Oh, I hit it. Blew it apart. Okay, cool. 357 Mag may be the ticket here. This one got stuck though. Glad I got that pusher. All right, let's try it again. 357 Mag, PMC. Okay, that one was just a bit high. These ones are definitely getting stuck though. 357 Mag is kind of an expensive round, but I guess if you're scavenging, then this would be helpful. Okay, just a little high again. That's pretty consistent. I'm happy about that. Okay, well, ran into a malfunction, pretty severe one. It's not opening up. There we go. The one round that gets the closest, and it's causing trouble with the mechanics now. Really stuck in there. There we go. All right, we'll give it one more shot. See how worth it is, I guess. I guess if you were closer, this would be an okay round to use so far. Looks like it hit low. I'll have to run that back on the video, but I thought it hit low. Maybe one more. Okay, it's just a little high and to the left. I don't know, that one did better. It's hard to tell though. Let's try 38 Special through the same chamber reducer. 38 Special plus P, this is the Spear. That one was right on target. That was beautiful, came right out. Let's try another round of that. That was just a little high. I might have pulled the shot, to be honest. Or it could be doing the exact same stuff that the other rounds were doing. All right, 38 Special plus P Spear. Nope, that one hit right on target. That was perfect. Right on. Spear 38 Special plus P seems to be the one. Yep, hit it. Okay. Well, there it is. Not a cheap round by any means, but that one had a favorable result. Very good. All right, 45 Colt, 454 Kazul. I actually don't have any of that ammo with me right now, so we can't try that one out. I do, however, have 4570. So this is definitely a smooth bore. I thought this one would give us the most trouble as far as accuracy because it doesn't have a spin. But let's see what happens. Okay. Here we go. Big kick, huge kick. Felt like a shotgun blast. It opened up, it didn't give us trouble like the 357 Magnum did, but it is stuck in there. So we'll have to use the pusher. There. It was stuck in there good too. All right. I felt like that did really well. It looked like it was on target. Doesn't look like there's any wear or cracks or anything to be scared or aware of in here with this reducer. So far so good. All right, we'll try one more. We'll see how close we can get. And then we'll move on to the shotgun 12 gauge end of things. Okay. I blew it to smithereens. So that's exactly where I was aiming. I wanted to see if I could hit the post there. So this one's actually pretty good too. So 38 special and 45-70. So those worked rather well. Yeah, so if you're new to this channel, this is the type of stuff we do. We try out different things, we assemble firearms, and we do a lot of malfunction testing. Accuracy is usually secondary, but that would be the entire point of a single shot. You want to be perfectly accurate. This has failed the test in multiple ways. So as far as functionality is concerned, nothing catastrophically malfunctioned, but we did have that one failure to open or to break. And the only 2 rounds that worked were the 38 special plus P spear ammunition, so really expensive, and then the 45-70, which if you're going to go either one of those routes, you might as well just use the 12 gauge. Like you can hit with a slug just as hard, or you could get a nice spread. So let's do that. Let's hit it with a slug from here. I gotta go set that thing back up though. Tell you what, it is a hot day today. All right, let's see how much trauma we can cause on this guy. Yeah, and I ain't hating on Shooter's Box. You know, it may be the Charles Daly shotgun, but you would think if you aim in the exact same spot each time, that if it was the shotgun, that it would have very minimal variance, or at least, you know, hit in a same general area, and then you could just adjust. Like if it was high and left, if I went low and right, that it would hit in the center. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now. If these slugs hit the target, then I know it was the Shooter's Box reducers. Let's do that, and then we'll make a determination on this. And how we're gonna do that is with these 2 3/4 inch slugs. And this is a smooth bore shotgun, so these slugs should do great. Should do just fine. Okay, so far I don't feel like it's the shotgun that hit the target. Comes out of there, no problem. We'll see if we can recreate that. Get real scientific here. Yeah. Okay. 2 shots, hit the target. Cool. Well, I don't feel bad for buying this now. Let's go look at it. Okay, I see it. So a couple of big chunks there. Relatively close to each other, so that's pretty awesome. Could have split the arrow. One way, I'm kind of relieved that it's not the shotgun, but and that it's not the optic. I would assume it's not the optic at this point as well, because we were getting the same results from just the irons, I guess, you know, on the shotgun. So yeah, it would have been cool if those reducers actually worked. Maybe if you're closer, but at the same time, like this is kind of the extent. This is as far out as I would take it, like 50 yards. But would have been cool if it would have worked. Yeah, let's try another slug just for fun. blast. Looks like it hit. The only thing left to do would be use some double lock buck. 9 pellets in each, traveling at 1,325 feet per second. So that's cruising out of there. Let's go spray it. Kind of want to see where that third shot hit too before we spray this down. From what I see, it looks like it was lower. Yeah, hit right there. So maybe a little low with the irons from 50 yards. The windage was fine, and the elevation just needs a little correction, I guess. But I can work with that. Not what happened with the reducers, though. That's not preferable for sure. Let's hit it with some double aught buck from like 25 feet away. Yeah, crushed it. 9 pellets in each, so let's see if we can hit and get 18. See if all 18 went on there. Well, kind of hard to tell. It looks like it hit in the same area that I opened up earlier, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, like 15, but they probably all hit. And the only reason I say that, like, I would take accountability for the 3, but yeah, it's open. It's wide open right there, so they probably went in there. Because that's where it looks like the main spread is at. Hard to tell, but that double aught buck, yeah, check that out. That hits like a 9 mil. Like that thing, it opens it up the same diameter as like a 9 mil. So that would hurt. Yeah, final thoughts. Try to get some good reducers. I have another video on the Chazelle. They're like 18-inch barrel reducers, and those work very, very good. I use those in the Hatfield. I use those in the Badger, like the M6. That was pretty cool. That was very accurate. That worked really, really well. Those are rifled as well, and I used 4570. I had 7.62 by 39. Used some pretty awesome rounds through that with an 18-inch barrel, and that was fun, and those were very accurate. The shooter's box, I can't really recommend those at all. Those are actually pretty terrible from my experience. I just, I wanted them to work as a survivalist. That's kind of the golden ticket, to have something like this and be able to shoot a ton of different rounds, different chambers and all of that. So the Charles Daly shotgun, this thing is pretty cool. I like it. It's really kind of you're not going to break the bank on this. It's less than $200 for this. It folds away. It'll blast the snot out of a target, so that's fun. You can hit your target with a slug from 50 yards away. Would I recommend this one? Yes. Yeah, this is pretty cool. If you're into this is probably the ticket for you too. Oh, and if you know anything about this, so the Greater Idaho movement, so Oregon's a very, very blue state, only because the big city, Portland, leading the political sway, and then everybody else has to deal with it. And so Greater Idaho movement, we're getting there to where it's like, Idaho, you have our truest values here in Oregon. Make us a red state. But if you're interested in this, you can go to the ARMEDFORAGER store, click the link below, and go ahead and pick one up. They're very comfortable. I've had this hat forever, and it fits really, really well. Looks really good. There's other merch there too if you're interested, so check it out, ARMEDFORAGER store.